Okay, so first I want to show you the difference between the plants I did the hack on and the other half that I didn't do the hack on. Just so you can see the difference between the two batches. I have 2 plants that I did a hack on, and I have 5 plants that I didn't do the hack on. And as you can tell, so this batch is the plants that I didn't do the hack on. They're doing really well. They were all one plant, and then I separated them because the plant I received had a lot of babies, so I separated all of them, and you can really tell that the plants I didn't do the hack on, they have babies growing, but most of them already had these tiny babies that I just didn't separate them from. So I would put like 2 babies in one pot together. And yeah, and these are the plants that I did the hack on. You can really see that the babies are growing. There is, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 on this one, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think, on this one. So you can really see how this works. It's working really well for the 2 plants. And yeah, so let's get to the hack. But first thing you need to understand is that, okay, there are 2 things you need to consider before applying this hack to your plants. First thing is that the plants are really well established, so they're not super small. So for example, this guy, he looks really healthy and it's a good sized plant, but they're still really babies, you know, and I can tell that by looking at the stem here. Is it going to focus? Yeah, so if you look at the stem, it's mostly green. So I would say this is still like on the smaller side of plants. And this guy is getting a bit older. So if you look at the bottom of the plant, you can tell that it's turning brown. And this is a good candidate because it's already sprouting babies. I think this guy, I just started doing the hack, so it's already growing babies. And I think, how long has it been since I put him? It's been maybe a month. And this guy, for example, like this is a really big plant, so you can tell that this is a good size, and it's also got the brown stem. It's just in a really weird shape, which is really cute. So yeah, so if you start seeing these brown parts, I don't know how big it has to be, but then we can come on to like the second point. The second point is that they already have to be really healthy. They have to be healthy in order for this hack to work, because if they're not healthy, if they haven't been receiving enough light, good watering, and have good soil, like they have to be already growing at a really good pace. So all of my plants that I didn't do the hack on, I've been working on that, and they're doing really well so far. Yeah, I think all of them are doing pretty well, except some of them are still really small. So once you have this covered, you'll start seeing signs of if whether you can apply this hack or not. So if you're really taking care of your plants, you're gonna start seeing these tiny little sprouts from the stemmy bits. So you'll start seeing something like this. And this plant, I already applied the hack, so maybe that's the reason why there's like so much more. But for example, even on this plant, you can start seeing these tiny bits of green on the stem. And initially, before I applied the hack on my 2 other plants, I would have these tiny could be babies, I guess. But they would just go away after a couple of weeks. So I just didn't know what I was doing wrong. And I burnt a few of my plants because they were really close to the south facing window. And so I moved them to another place and they started growing a lot of babies. So I just have to explain how my apartment is set up, or how my apartment is positioned. So in my living room, I have a south facing window, and in my bedroom I have a north facing window. And my living room gets a lot of direct light and for a long period of time, especially during the summer. So in Germany, I live in Germany, and we have sun from, in like middle of the summer, we have sun between, I think, 5 a.m. or even earlier, like 4:30 a.m. until 9:30 p.m. So that's a lot of sun. And in my bedroom, which has the north facing window, it doesn't receive any direct sunlight, even in the middle of summer. So what I did with these guys that's growing a lot of babies is that I moved them, because I don't remember which one it was. I think it was this one. Like, as you can tell, they got sunburned, and because I got really scared, I just moved them to the what, it's not focusing. I don't know how to do this. Okay, you can't see it. Anyways, like, I think you can see the discoloration, but it got burnt and I got really scared, so I just moved them to the bedroom. And they sit on the windowsill, so they're getting a lot of indirect, really bright light, because they sit behind the curtains. Like, they sit on the window side behind the curtains. So if you're looking from inside and I put the curtains, they sit on the window side. So they do receive a lot of bright indirect light, but never direct light. And the thing about my bedroom is it's a lot cooler than my living room, because it never receives direct sunlight. And I think that's what made them produce a lot of babies. So this is my first year having plants. I received this in January this year, so I haven't been through a whole winter season with any of my plants, so I'm really scared for the upcoming winter because I don't know what to do, but I'm gonna figure it out. But I have a feeling that the Pilea plants start making babies during the winter, like when the weather isn't super warm. And yeah, so I think the hack is to make them, so first give them a lot of light and warmth and humidity, and then move them to a darker and a cooler spot. But it shouldn't be dark, like you shouldn't move it to a room without windows or anything. They should still receive good lighting and keep them in a cooler spot. And humidity wise, this summer Germany was quite humid because there was a lot of storms and rain, and it was a lot cooler, I think, than regular summers. So maybe that's why this hack worked. Yeah, I think that's all. I'm just trying to think. Oh yeah, I was talking about, so I feel like they start producing a lot of babies when it gets cooler. And the other thing that I really need to mention is that when they're producing babies, the mother plant, the growth would slow down. So it's not gonna grow as big as if you give them like really a lot of light. So these guys, the plants that I didn't do the hack on, they were still in my living room and they received a lot of light. So you can tell, like, these were really tiny babies and they grew quite a bunch. And this guy was already quite big, and of course it still produced a lot of course, it still produced a few leaves, but it's not growing as fast as it used to. Yeah, so that's all. If you are going to give this hack a try, it takes about a couple of months for you to see the results. But if you already see these like sprouting things, then I think you have a really good chance of producing more babies on your Pilea plant. And if this hack works for you, then please let me know. Give me an update after a couple of months, because I really would like to know if that's like if my hack is working, and for just to see whether it was really working or not. As I said, I put this plant as well in my bedroom, and it seems to be really working because it already has 3 babies, and you can really see these sprouts on the plant. So yeah, I think it really works. So let me know if you have any questions about this hack, or about anything else, about any other plants that I have here. Yeah, and thank you so much to all the subscribers. I didn't think I was gonna get any, and now I think I have 6 or 7, which is really exciting. Thank you so much for watching the videos, and I will be posting more of these hacks. I have a really good it's not a hack, I have a really good remedy for pest control, which has been working amazingly, so I can share that with you in the next video maybe. I don't know. Okay, see you next time.